Hello everyone, I am back. It is Sunday and I am interviewing today someone who is a really cool designer, and I can't wait for you guys to hear his story and how he started designing. So I am doing this little series on my YouTube channel where I interview professionals in the industry, whether they be a stylist, fashion designer, model, photographer. I'm going to try to interview everyone who I think are amazing inspiration. So if you're looking to get into fashion design and you want to know how to pursue it, if you want some inspiration, keep watching this interview with Max. I know that you guys are going to love him, and to the video. Before I get to the interview, I just want to clear up a few phrases that we will be using quite frequently throughout this interview. So to help you better understand what Max and I are talking about, I just want to go over FIDM and debut. So what FIDM is, for anyone who doesn't know or doesn't attend the college, FIDM is a college like I just mentioned, or FIDM, and it's the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising. FIDM, that is where Max and I went to school for fashion design. And I just wanted to clear up debut as well. Debut is a prestigious program after your associate's degree in fashion design. Select students will get into the program, and I believe it's 9 months, but Max can correct me if I'm wrong. You basically have to submit your work, and Max will talk about that process throughout the interview, but you have to submit your work and you need to be accepted into this program, and it's only a select amount of kids. So it's really prestigious, and at the end of this 9-month period, there will be a runway show of the collection that these designers have come up with. If you hear FIDM and debut, this is what we're referring to, just so you guys are a bit more clear on those terms. So just to keep you guys in the loop, if you did not go to our college and you're a bit confused as to what we're talking about, that's it. To the interview now.
My name is Max. My actual name is actually Nick Chung, and it's like my original Vietnamese name when I was born. I came here when I was 5, and I was really into art stuff, but during that time, my family, we had like a little family problem. We didn't have enough money and stuff and time. So all I did was after school, I was just somehow skip school, just go home, start drawing, look on YouTube, and just practice and practice all the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when did you know you wanted to become a designer?
I actually didn't know that I was going to be a designer. I was actually wanting to be an artist or a tattoo design, some different design on a different field. But it turned out after community college, I started seeing virtual, because I was doing architecture. I was also doing fashion during that time too. And then I started digging more deep into his fashion side, and I started getting really interested. And also I always wear clothes and stuff to get me confident and stuff, and that's why I switched to film. The thing is that since I was little, I've always wanted to be an artist, and my sister always wanted to be a fashion designer. But it turned out she became a businesswoman and I became a fashion designer. I didn't even notice it.
Cool.
Crazy.
That's really interesting. So when did you switch to fashion? What was your design process like? What was your steps when you first started? You said you would sketch.
So drawing, sketching, I love design in general. That time I didn't know how to sew, pattern, or anything. I went straight to FIDM, and a lot of the teachers there just helped me and go from sketch to nothing. And then now my skills start improving a lot, and it was scary at first, but as you go through the process, you start getting to learn more, understand more. And then also all my friends around, it would help me if I ask a question. Somehow I would look on YouTube, how to sew this, how to sew that, and then starting to figure out things, take it slow, and then to start learning.
So when you entered FIDM, you weren't sewing. Wow.
Just the only thing when I went to FIDM, the only thing I know is sketching.
Wow.
Drawing.
And your stuff is so that's wow. That's so cool.
It's because I also have OCD where I have to have perfection, or else it kind of bothered me. So I have to redo a lot of time when I was sewing, I messed up. I had to redo it again, and then over time I I just, because since I redo it, I have practiced a lot, and then like over time, my skills start building up better and better.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So you said Virgil, is he your biggest inspiration in the fashion industry?
Yes, Virgil, he's my number one right now. But during like along the way, I discovered like two more designers I really love. It's Tim Jones from Dior, and then also Matthew William from Givenchy. They're like my best designer, and their style is just really like my type of style. Like it's like a streetwear and a luxury style, which I really like, and like more a lot of like futuristic too and classy. I like that.
Really interesting. So have you worked for any well-known designers? Have you done any internships?
I have interned for, I don't know if you know Strip. He's not a designer. He's more of a rapper for YSL, like the music label. They're having some problem right now, but I used to intern for them, and one of this designer from Italy, he came over, so I was assisting him. Currently right now, I'm not interning for anyone. I'm focused more on the collection. After the collection, I'm planning on intern for guests, because I was supposed to intern for guests in 2021, but because of school situation, we have to rearrange it to like next year. Yeah.
So what was that like when you were interning for those other designers? What was
It was
like?
it was fun. I've learned a lot through different designer and stuff. They teach me how like different way of sewing, that a lot of the sewing that FIDM haven't teach us, especially menswear. Because menswear, where my major, they don't teach menswear, they teach women. But when I was doing internship and stuff, the designer there was doing menswear and stuff, they teach me a lot of different ways of sewing, especially for men's clothing. It's way different than a woman. And that's how I learned.
So you want to do more menswear in the future?
Yeah, that's what I wanted at first, but like right now, like it doesn't really matter, because like I know how to do both sides.
Right.
So if I get into like a company or something, and if they need me for men's or women, I would take either one.
So what are your dreams for the next 5 years? Do you want your own brand? Do you want to work for someone for a bit? What's your big plans?
My number one goal was, since before I started filming, I've always wanted to go to Paris, live there, and then work for like a high designer luxury, especially Dior, even better. But I know that's a big goal. But I also, so after debut, I wanted to work for Guess because of the internship, and then also have my own label at the same time. And then after, for 4 or 5 years, I'll move to like Paris or Europe.
Have you been to Paris before?
Never. My dream.
So amazing. I think you're going to love it. The architecture is beautiful. It's just, it seriously is like the capital of fashion. And wait till you see, when you get there, you'll instantly
love the European like architecture style. It's just so nice.
Beautiful. It is so beautiful.
London is also one of my other options too. I also like London. Amazing. London and Paris.
Yes, you have to come to Europe. It's so amazing. And I think dreaming big, because you said before, I know it's a big dream, but I think you have to dream big, because if you put that out there, then you can get everything that you dream of if you work hard and all that. So I don't think that that's an out of reach goal. I think you can very much do that. Do you think you have to go to fashion school to be successful?
Not at all. Even like just art stuff in general. You don't need to. If you have the skill already, get the talent, you work hard for it, I think you will reach it. But the reason school is good is because you get more connection, and it kind of reaches you faster than doing without school. Yeah, you definitely don't need schooling to be successful. Definitely don't.
And you said that you learned a lot online. So what was that like for you? Like looking up YouTube videos and things like that. How did that help you? And who did you used to watch when you were starting out?
So usually watching online, it was hard. I mean, like, teaching yourself, it's not the same as the professor teaching you. It's like it's more observing how like people would do this, like by their hand, how their movement and stuff, and kind of like copy, like kind of mimic the way they move and stuff. A lot of mimicking other people. Yeah.
How was your experience with debut? I know that's a massive thing to get into. Can you explain your process a bit? So how do you have to apply for it? How do you get into it? What did you have to do? Walk us through the steps.
Before I went to film, debut was my number one goal, and that's why I went to film. And after we finished AA, we signed up like all of the work from our previous class from AA. We put it together as a portfolio, and then we scheduled the interview with the co-chair. We would look through your garment, like your stitch detail, how straight, how neat it is, And then also your pattern. See if your pattern is like really clean, organized, and then especially your sketches. They want to see your sketch as well, your design, how well you do on it, and yeah, also your knowledge on the fabric and stuff too.
What inspires you while you're designing? What's the main inspiration for you?
For me, probably music.
Yeah.
I've listened to music all the time, driving, working, drawing. It just like it kind of give me life, or because it's more fun when I listen to music.
Yeah.
And it's not also not just music, it's also my past experience, kind of like my story and the experience that like in the moment right now. If I feel it's like something popped up, just get on it. Yeah.
Do you carry a sketchbook around with you when you're listening to something? Does anything inspire you and you just have to draw it out or make some notes?
If I have the idea, I have to put it down quick, or else when I come back later, it's
Yeah.
gone.
So
Yeah.
I'm really
That's why
interested to see what your thought process is, because all of your stuff is so amazing and there's so much thought that goes into it. So I'm just so interested to see your mood boards and things like that. And I'm sure everyone else would love to see them as well.
yeah.
So you definitely have to send some over. Advice that you have for anyone who wants to become a designer, or maybe someone who wants to go to FIDM, what could they submit to get in? What did you have to submit?
Have a passion, like deep passion, and just work hard. And like if you want to do something, just go for it. Don't, I mean, sometimes it's scared. It feels scared, but like don't let that fear hold you back,
Yeah.
because if you face it, there's something bigger that you can see. And also just apply all my sketches, design, and just show my art, especially my art stuff. It doesn't have to be sketches of fashion. It can be portrait, it could be landscape painting, anything. Just send it to them. And fashion design is not, it's not an easy major. It's a lot of process thinking, and I know a lot of people just think it's creative stuff, but it's also the business side too. You got to think about the design, not just the design, but like the design that will have a good market. Like right now, the trending streetwear, luxury, kind of different style and stuff. You have to kind of have that, design. Not, you can't just like design anything that you want. When for the view right now, we can do that, but like outside in the industry, you have to go with trends and stuff
Right.
for the good market. Yeah.
I think that a lot of people think fashion school is so just easy and fun. And I think, yes, it's fun, but it was so difficult for me, in my experience at least. I did all online learning. So it was so hard to see like how someone's stitching something, but people think it's so easy. We had so much work to do, and I can only imagine your work just grew so much. But we had so much stuff to do at all times, I feel like. So I think a lot of people have the misconception that they have a bunch of free time, and you really don't. You have a lot of stuff to do. It's really hands-on. Like, we're sewing this stuff. It's not that it just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think so. Just be ready to dedicate a lot of time to your craft. You could keep going on what you're saying.
So yeah, I know a lot. Like for me too, I do like before I get into film. I thought it was gonna be like all like creative stuff, But it turned out there's more than just creative stuff. There's general ed class. There's a bunch of design fabric class where you learn about the fabric and stuff. I love that class, but that class was hard, especially for the knit.
So difficult.
So hard, but it's really important though. I know it's really important, especially for a fashion designer. Yeah, as like FIDM, like the first year was pretty. The first year was like a little easy, calmer. But as you start like the second year, so on, it started getting really, really hard. And I had to like stay up all night sometimes sewing. And it's just crazy. Yeah.
It is a bunch of work, and I think it's also really rewarding when you can see what you started off with and then you see where you are now, and it's just like your knowledge just grew so much. And that, for example, that fabric class, I was like, I do not get this. I used to think that fabrics, you could just really put anything on anything, and it's not how that works. But until you take that class, I feel like you don't know that. No one tells you that. Yeah. But now it makes sense, and I think you kind of see fashion in a different light once you go to school. I think you appreciate it a bit more when you can feel something that's like quality and you know that it's quality. I think it's really, really interesting, and I think if you have a passion for it, go out and achieve anything that you dream of.
I've told a lot of people that too. Like, there's actually some student reach out that they want to go debut and stuff. They were asked like, what are we supposed to do? And I would like show them during working. I think it's really good if you have like some like motivation speech video or like podcast on or music to inspire you. So it motivates you to keep going better. Yeah.
I agree. I really agree. Well, I'm excited. Where can we watch? Are you still excited for that? First off.
Yeah, I'm nervous.
You're nervous.
I'm excited and nervous.
So how many pieces do you have again?
I have to make 36 pieces. And I have 12 looks in general because most of my collection is like layers. So
I was
like
just about to say, sorry to cut you off, but
no, it's okay.
This is really funny. Before you even said it, I was going to say you taught me, and you don't know that you taught me this, but you really taught me how to layer things because you introduced that to me. When I would see all of your things, I'm like, oh my, layering just like brings everything together. So you taught me that and you didn't even know that you did that. But so I'm glad that you said that.
Well, I'm honored. That's good to hear. But yeah, layers really important in fashion, especially right now. It's just a lot in the trend. A lot of people like to layer stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it's a lot. At first, I was gonna do couture. I feel like couture is more of hand-on stitch and stuff. And for that 9 month, I don't think I have time for that just by myself. So that's why I picked the other style, which is better style that fit me more. Yeah.
Are you in like kind of the final stages of that? Do you have any pieces done? Is there anything that you could tell us?
We're on our final quarter right now, which we only have 2 months left. I did finish one look, and I have one more fitting of a sample, and then after that I'm gonna start sewing all the actual fabric.
Wow.
Yeah.
So amazing. Yeah. So when can everyone watch this?
Yeah, it does go live too. It's on March 31st.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much. So we'll definitely tune in, and I'm sure after everyone sees your stuff, they will be tuning in as well. And then my last question is, a lot of people that kind of watch my stuff are petite. What is your feeling on including petite people in the fashion scene? Are you up for having petite models on your runway? What's your thoughts with that?
Now, especially in 2023, it's a lot of diverse. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be, you know, like back then, you have to be slim to be the runway. It doesn't really matter. It depends on the designer. They want this, that, and then you can just also have a different variety of model. I think it's a really good thing now because it opened more doors for the other people.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Is there anything else that you want to add?
One tip I'll probably give is just be consistent. And even though sometimes you don't get motivated, still get up and do, you know.
How do you work through a roadblock? Because I know, especially in fashion school, we have to think of concept after concept each week, and it's like sometimes it can feel like a lot, especially when you put something out.
Either I just take a break, go out, and like go somewhere quiet with the nature and stuff, kind of like, you know, help my mind refresh. And also I would watch a lot of fashion runway to kind of analyze design, see what is good right now, what's the trend right now, and I just use that and then start rethinking again, redo it again. I do get that a lot, and I think important is to take a break and kind of like go outside, get some fresh air, and kind of like refresh your mind. Yeah.
That used to happen to me. I felt like I had so much work to do that I needed to just try to get over it quick. But sometimes you really do just need to walk away. And I find that being the most helpful. If you feel like you can't think of something right now, walk away and come back to it.
That's what my professor for debut, she said that too. Like if you get stuck or if it gets stressful, just stop everything and just take a break. Just go outside and then come back later and you'll feel much better. You can do it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate